It is Dukes and Bell. We're live at Flowery Branch. Let's talk to Coach Art. All right, Art, can I get a handshake? Because the balls on that call on fourth down.
Nuggets, baby.
I'm like,
Huevos.
Arthur Smith. My goodness. Coach, let's talk about it because you talk about setting the tone. You've been telling us this all off season. We get into that kind of game where we need it. And I heard Bijan after the game say, look, when I got the call, I was like, oh, they calling my number? Let's go. Jake Matthews, we're going to get the first down. The confidence in that huddle and then to go get it done and to finish the game, Coach, was huge.
Yeah, and every one of those situations are different. And, you know, you know what the numbers are. You know, we can get the – like I said, everybody's got the same analytics chart now, and so it's kind of like what happened in baseball, but it's always going to come down to decision-making and obviously what you want to go with and what are the matchups and what's going on the other side. So there's a lot that goes into it. But the way that we were playing, I had a lot of faith. If we kicked it there, fine. I'm confident, right, we would have gotten it. Would have given them a chance with timeouts and a 2-minute warning probably, the way the kickoff would have gone. Where they had a lot of time to get in the field goal range. Not to say that our defense wouldn't have stopped them, but again, the psychology of it, one, you get it. It's deflating for them because now they got to use their timeouts as long as we don't do anything reckless. Right. And really, thought, like I said, we came another yard away from getting the other first down. We were actually in a situation that we work where if they had tried to let us score, we take it down. If we got in that second first down, before we kicked on 4th and 1, right? You get down in there and we could have milked the clock down. I would have banged the timeout with 3 seconds, kicked it and gone home.
Okay.
But, we got the first one. They used their timeouts. They had a minute, some change, right? Coup pops it through. And they had no timeouts. It's a little bit different. A little different urgency coming through, and they went 4 and out.
The situational football there, how much do you work on that? Because
all the time.
All the time. Because in those moments, like, I think fans believe, like, what's coach going to do? Have we been in this situation? You create those situations in practice all the time. So you've gone through it and you know where you want to go.
Right. And every one of them is different. That's why I said there's never a perfect, so people try to act like they had the perfect thing, but you're playing percentages and there's a heavy percentages in certain situations, but it's a continuing education. So if you have the mindset that, hey, you don't have the arrogance that you're ever going to know it all, you study everything and you try to game it through. So you're prepared. So in those moments, like what is your call? Got to have it right. 4th and 1 when you get in those situations. That was our call. And we felt good about it because you actually used it early in the game. It's a quick count unbalanced, and we get it in the same formation as actually what we used on the flea flicker on the 3rd and 3 that Matt caught. And so the funny part about it is, and then again, like I got a big family and a lot of friends, so I see some of these things and I laugh. I laugh so hard sometimes to see it because like it makes me laugh, and I didn't know when that thing came through. And then I saw it when I'm studying our TV copy to hear what our cadence and all that other stuff. So I'm like, all right. The other part about that 4th and 1 that was crazy, right? I used the challenge, kind of the timeout, see the spot. We get the call, and I tell Des, hey, and he did a great job. Say, hey, don't break this huddle because they're going to wind the 25-second clock. Give it a couple seconds, then get up there so they don't see the unbalance and go on the quick. Right. He did that. Well, the ump stepped back in the way. That's why I was like, what in the?
Yeah, you're jamming us up here.
Yeah, that's why I flipped out because Savage actually saw it. So that's why he actually triggered pretty quick.
Gotcha.
So if you really look at the TV copy, what felt like 10 seconds to me was probably a second and a half.
Sure.
But he had the view from the safety. He actually comes to trigger to take it away. And Jonnu actually, that last effort pushed, and Bijan was able to go underneath it. But that effort by New, but that's why I was so upset because the ump stepped back in there. So that was a lot going on. But either way, like going back to it with the decision to do it, like I felt confident in our guys' the way we were rolling out the ball. And like I said, I got a lot of confidence in Bijan already.
It's cool to be in memes, man. I like it. It is our man.
Not the first time, won't be the last time.
It's here, live at Falcons headquarters. We always talk about our 2 coaches before you. We love Mike Smith. Unscouted looks. He used to talk about that all the time. Never saw the Jonnu Smith as a lead blocker for Desmond play, at least when I was in practice. No. That was beautiful. That got you in the goal line. Now, we'll talk about what happened at the goal line, but that play was a thing of beauty. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the 7 on that, the 6 on that one.
Yeah, so we went down there, right, and the safety makes the play on the zone read. Nuke does a good job, kicks the corner out, and so then we get down there and we win the heavy personnel, and again, Kyle, runs a pretty good route, gets grabbed, right? So if he doesn't get grabbed, it's probably a touchdown. Great. Well, the next play, again, they Like you're playing the percentages. You're trying to go off of tendencies you've done before. Sometimes you can overthink it. Went with a pop pass. Credit to Green Bay. And then the second down, I believe we ran it. We didn't execute it. Where we hit that thing, credit to Green Bay, we got to execute. That's not where we're trying to hit it.
Okay.
So then you get to the third down. I thought we were in 4-down territory. We were. And then the third down, like I said, they dropped out. They didn't bring it. We got pushed out of the pocket. Otherwise, we could have dinked it right over to Kyle. Again, that's football. So it's not going to look like good when you don't execute. The other defense has a say. So those aren't excuses. That's just telling you what goes on. And fourth down, the same play that Dez scored on, that zone read late in the game.
Right.
We thought we had him, and again, we used it, held it. It's kind of serendipitous because we would have used it right there, and I felt confident. You never know, but 4th and 1, that was what we were going with. And we'll never know because, again, we got the false start. Right. So then you get the 4th and 6, let's kick it.
Right.
And then you save the play, and I go and look at the surface. Okay, you're looking at the personnel, you're looking at the scheme, and I knew I wanted to come back to that call. And then obviously, hell yeah, you want to score 7, just like we did the week before, right? We're 3 for 3. We go 2 for 5, and one of those was that managing the end of the game when Cook kicked it. So you're 50%, not what you want, but it's the NFL. But if you come back to it, and that's what we did. We looked at it. I liked the matchup. They played it how we thought. Dez pulled it, and he scored. One on that 4th and 4,
right,
where he got hit late by Douglas and went in the end zone.
Yeah.
So there's so much that goes on from play to play, and sometimes, yeah, sure, you can overthink it, but the intent was to try to play off tendencies. Yeah, we're trying to be aggressive. Yeah, we got to score, but that's what the thought. There is thought behind it. Never going to be perfect. Yeah, we got to do a better job.
We're going to talk about the Lions with Coach Art. He's here with us live at Flowery Branch at Stooks and Bell Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. I don't want to build this up. We're 2 weeks in, but I learned something about our quarterback this week. Mm-hmm. And specifically in the second half, I thought his decision-making, his moxie, the way he went about his business, we've kind of wondered. I'm saying we as the fans, we saw the 4 games last year and we start this season and we go, okay, I got to see him in some of these moments. I thought we had some of those, Art, on Sunday with Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, I mean, look at his numbers, and I get it. You can slice up the numbers however you want, but you really look at the percentages in that into half and really the fourth quarter. Going back to Cincinnati, but really you go back and look at that since he started in the NFL. That's what I saw down in New Orleans. As ugly as that game started, when it got late, moment's not too big. There is a human element, and you can feel it when you're out on the field. You can look at the opposing team, and you can tell who wants that ball and who doesn't. Desmond wants that ball. I mean, that's why the guys love him. Like he's what we're about. I mean, I like the quarterback's got some stuff to him. Right. That's what he's a fighter, but he's not reckless, right? And he's going to learn from things like the first pick. We got bull rush. Kyle's coming open. Ball sails on him. Bull rush gets him. The next one, they got him on coverage. Now he's seen it. Saw some on the front side. Thankfully, he dropped it. Tough lesson learned.
Right.
Trying to be aggressive, going to Drake. Again, lesson learned, right? Jair jumped it. Thankfully, he dropped it. And then the one, again, he hits Drake on the 3rd and 15, the dagger. It's a different look. Now he's trying to, again, completely different look underneath. And you got to know the situation. Everyone's different. So there are some new journeys. But what I like about Dez, he usually doesn't make the same mistake twice.
Right.
And thankfully, then you get down at the end of the game. I mean, he wants that ball. The situation's not too big.
Well, that's why we were going to ask you, and you just answered the question about what happened on those 2 near picks. But that's a teaching moment for Desmond Ridder. On the flip side, how about the laser he pumps into Drake London at the goal line? That was a beautiful pass.
Yeah, I mean, the arming on that, right? He checked to protect. They bring 0.
Yeah. So
you get a built-in mechanism. He checks it. Talk about understanding, and then to be able to get that. But that shows his athletic ability, how twitchy he really is, and like to be able to. What I've always liked about Dez is you watch some of these guys that are play extenders, they throw everything like Rick Vaughn, 99-mile fastball, 100 right, whatever it was. And what he does, he can change the speed and the trajectory, and that's a naturalness to him.
Just one follow-up on Ridder, and then, as we said, I was trying to explain to guys in my section, the throw to Jonnu, that's another laser that he puts in.
Where he puts it, because Savage is in front of him,
right.
To hit that seam kind of route in the middle field closed. He knew where to put it. That's being a passer.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, we had a look. He saw the look. They played soft on Bijan and Kyle. So he's working back in his progression where he's got a high-low with Jonnu and Drake. And he fired that thing in there, put it where he needed to, where the safety couldn't get it. And New's a guy that likes to play inside the numbers. And it was a big play by him.
Coach dropping knowledge, guys. I hope you're paying attention as we talk about our team. Let's talk about the Lions, Coach. Last year, I remember, tough fight. I mean, they came down here. We end up, getting the dub, but this is a different team. We're a different team. And it's our first chance to go on the road. I mean, what's your message as we hit the road for the first time?
Yeah, it's going to be a great road environment. It'll be like when we went out to Seattle last year. And, you talk about it, you try to simulate some things, but until we get in there, I mean, they'll be ready to go. They're coming off a tough loss to Seahawks in overtime. We know what they're about. It's going to be a heavyweight fight. And so I told the guys, get ready. It's going to be loud like it was in Seattle. You try to work through it. And we're going to get their best shot. And I promise you, they'll be ready to roll, and we'll be ready to roll. And so we got to have a good week. But this is a big game for us.
I know it's early in the week. We saw some of the bigger names on their defense. Montgomery looks like he's going to be out. We'll find out. It's early in the week, as I said. Are we going to see Jeff Okudah make a homecoming?
He's getting close. We'll see how tomorrow and Friday goes, but he's certainly trending in the right direction.
Do you look at those receivers and say, I really do like to have him out there? They got some weapons.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something every week. The matchup. I mean, St. Brown's a good player for him. How they use him. Josh Reynolds been playing good for him. My man Khalif, little mullet man. He cut his mullet off. But I love Khalif. But he does a good job for him in the return game. He's a big play guy for him. They got other gadgets for him, and so they got a good squad. They're heavy-handed O-line. They're going to see some gap schemes. They'll try to run and some of the zone stuff. So we'll be ready to roll.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard Dan Campbell talking about, he said this was a tough loss for them, but he said the Falcons have better weapons. This is his words. Falcons have better weapons than the guys we just played. He was talking about Seattle and giving you guys respect and knowing what he's about to get into. That was Dan Campbell after the game on Sunday. Coach, what was your conversation with Ryan Nielsen? We stopped these guys last week. 3 and out. Finish the game.
Right.
3 huge series, and the defense stepped up.
He didn't complete a ball either. Right?
Correct.
Yep.
I mean, you talk about Love, who looked like, world beater here in the first half, and then we basically shut him down. What was the conversation with you and your DC?
Well, it's really the whole staff. And then really when you're talking about a team and the things that we try to do in all 3 phases, we don't have independent contractors. Mm-hmm. So part of the strategy too, when you hold the ball for 36 minutes, you can wear somebody down. You're going to play pretty good defense. They got 2 chunk plays off those DPIs, off the flea flicker, and then the one we brought pressure, and then they got down there, right? And we had the defensive holding, and then they broke a tackle. We got to do a better job, catch and run touchdown. So there's a couple things there. We'll clean up, but our guys want that moment. That's the thing is, about finishing 4th quarter. Also the field position when you got to go out there, and Pinion's done a good job in those situations.
Yep.
Coup, to cover, we have to if we don't. But that's a team thing, and we got a lot of problem solvers. So there were some things we showed on that last drive that we hadn't showed the young quarterback before. And that's what the good coaching is. And we have good communication on the back end with Jerry and Jack and Frank and Ryan. And, there's a lot of problem solvers. And that's what a good staff's supposed to do.
I know every game's got an ebb and flow, but 17 points in the second half against the Panthers, 16 points in the second half this week. So are we now a second half team?
You'd like to be every
I know you'd
quarter,
like to be a full football
it's
team.
NFL, but you want to, if you want to be a team that can close games out. You want to have tough-minded guys that want to embrace the opportunity when the pressure situations come on. But the thing is, just because we've done it twice, we got to continue to improve, right? It's just because you did it last week doesn't mean we'll do it this week if we don't put in the work and try to get better.
Art, let's go get a dub up in Detroit. Appreciate you always stopping by. Let's get back to work. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, guys.